Hey, welcome ladies, gentlemen, and those who know better to Battle Pirates March Raid Reclamation Raid livestream. We're going to go ahead and wait for a few people to get in here before we go ahead and get started, but there are a few things that we are going to be discussing today before we jump right into it, including the raid prizes, as well as the different targets that we are going to hit. This is the first raid in the Reclaimer seed cycle, which we're going to be able to use Reclaimers for, with a few older targets for things such as the Ronin hulls, as well as the, just one or two Gladius fleets, but that's really outdated. The thing we want to go for is see if 3 ships can work in the 160 and 162, because we've been told that's probably how it should be. Of course, the prizes that we are going through include the Badger, the latest Tier 10 Defender hull. Hey, Krakendock, how's it going? And this one we'll come out with a much more detailed video on this. It does concussive damage, has monster deflections, is a moving hull, although you cannot control it, has a, pretty standard number of weapon, armor, special slots, and has a special aura that will debuff hostile ships within the range, lowering both their building as well as their regular ship damage as well. Of course, there's also a built-in Badger targeting system that does 0 damage, has a range of 10, and is used for targeting only. This is so the ship will move towards the, attacking holes and not stop and stutter like the Piranhas sort of did, which is why, if you notice in the background, I don't have any Piranhas in my base because they don't work very well against the Exterminator. Of course, we also have the Zip Drive Y. Looks like it gives you concussive reload as well as concussive damage. We'll have to double check on how well that works with the Zip Drive X. I think it might be more damage but less reload. Good to have not a pure power crease, just a, difference. Of course, we also do have the special weapon that came out with the Badger, the Grinder Gatling Gun. Get your jokes ready now. This one does a fair amount of damage, has a windup that increases its bonus reload, as well as its DK throughout what it works on. So it fires faster and does more damage the longer it stays shooting. And of course, it's stuck to just the Badger. We also have 10 days of Reclaimer build tokens, which will be fantastic for me. Might get my 5th ship done, as well as Reclaimer upgrade tokens, which will be great. And of course, if we hide own tech and go down to tokens, there are a few million different items you can buy. I'm hoping for some Reclaimer VXP tokens, which looks like we have. That is fantastic. Alright, that's enough chitter chatter. Let's go ahead and get started. If you're watching this back a little bit later on YouTube, feel free to jump around to whatever section works best. I'll start by going over my ships. First of all, I have a flagship Reclaimer built here as a countermeasure ship. And of course, we have the X1 upgrades as well to earn this raid. Has 3 different ballistic armors, didn't have time to add a 4th, is pretty much built out here, has a countermeasure special as well as missile defense system 3s. Of course, we also have the Reclaimer. This one is built as an evade tank, a little bit faster with the D5 EV plate, thanks DSM, as well as using Guidance Climber 3 to get the evade numbers up above 70%, up to 72. Then the third Reclaimer is built as a damaged version, not fully armored out here, and of course it does have more reload with this autoloader 4 stat. And then my 4th ship is actually just a blank here, so we're not going to use this one at all, and it isn't even fully ranked. Let's just go ahead and get started by jumping into talking about the targets and what all that is meaning. We'll go ahead and look through the Kixeye official strategy guide really briefly, or my own one, either one that I feel like going through or I get up first, and I'll talk about a few of the differences between those in a bit more detail. This briefing came out a solid 4 hours before the raid, whereas mine came out a month early. We have a medium-range ballistic cannon, which evade works against. We have a long-range radioactive launcher, which will shockwave and evade works against. We also have a Cannonballista turret, interesting name there. This one might have an area of effect field, we'll have to see. Long-range ballistic, and evade does not help against this one. Of course, the UAV turret, which is going to be why I'm only running 2 countermeasures across the entire fleet. It's countermeasurable, to use a word here that they just made up, with anti-missile weapons such as Missile Defense System 3. We'll have to see if Sprint works against that or not. Of course, a few other things in the target, such as the Weapon Enhancement Tower, which is supposed to make the Drax do more damage and buff up their projectiles, and you can go over this and hover over it to see what it does, as well as a Command Gate building, which has an area damage on the field, and friendly turrets, which are going to be really interesting. These things are going to be long range, used to take out the Draconian Enhancement Towers, and really does nothing to anything else. You want to kill the radio towers so you can unshroud the far side turrets before you really jump into other stuff. And of course, there are some notes here. The 160 target is autoable, 162 probably not, and neither is the 513. Alright, well, let's jump back to the game and go through a few of these different targets here. And let's just resize this back down to normal so you're not staring at something too weird. Maybe should have done this in post-production, pre-production, whichever one you want to call this. But looks good to me. Alright. Enough talk, let's jump right into the Reclaimers. First up, the 160 target, no crew. By the way, my 2 back ships are at U3. My flagship is up to X1. And hello to Sector 7. The wonderful people here have not actually attacked my base yet. Alright, interesting black targets here. Let's see if we can find something we want to hit. 513s, a lot of places. I want a 160. Is that too much to ask for? There's 162. I want the auto target first. Gotta start with the lower number, right, people? Of course, if you people do have questions that come up, I'm happy to answer in chat, which is what we'll go ahead and do. I'm in a sector similar with the wonderful people of the Gangs Alliance, so if you know any of those, tremendous shout out to Gangs. Give me lots of medals all the time. I'm joking. Anyway, time to go ahead and hit this target with 3 ships. And by the way, my fleets are always built without any coin, so that's just something for people to know. Even though I do have a 1,000 backup, that number does not change a whole lot month to month. Okay, 160 target. Looks like it starts out slightly damaged, maybe just to show us what things have taken damage or not. And it looks kind of basic, to be honest. Okay, let's zoom in here. We have UAV turrets that are already shooting at the far sites and doing damage to each other. Forsaken warehouses are taking damage. Nothing too surprising there. Turrets are grouped up in clusters, not too close. Splash damage probably won't work very well. And a few other things to deal with. Looks like for this target, the best approach is going to be to go around the outsides, trigger the radio towers, and kill these Draconian enhancement turrets while leaving everything else alone. Let's just get over close to this first one, and that died pretty quickly. One shot completely knocked out the radio tower. That's good. Of course, there's also this far side turret. If you get close to it, you'll buff it up a little bit. Hopefully it dies there. Looks like that's true. Gotta run away from that turret. Almost did too much damage to me. The Reclaimer also has a special X1 aura where it will buff and will be stronger, especially the flagship near friendly turrets. Of course, we also do heal those. Alright, let's get close here, take a shot or two at this one, and we're good. While it's still taking down that special enhancement turret, let's go ahead and shoot at this cluster a little bit, see if we can't kill that. See if staying moving helps at all, and looks like that damage is really, really low. Let's just get close to this next one because I can, and see what kind of damage these things are doing. Looks like my MDS-3 is very effective against the UAVs, and my thrower is doing a lot of damage, although TSM might be onto something with using throwers that deal way more damage up front. As in terms of the Tier 9 heavy launcher instead of the Tier 10 one. Okay, let's move forward and take down this cluster here. Shouldn't be too bad, and looks like this cannonball can be outrun. It's the same as it was in the raid. Nothing too surprising there, and I took some damage from that guy. Gotta keep moving against these targets, apparently. Okay, went into the UAV damage, or the damage area, and UAV is taken down. Really looks like I'm better off with a thrower with that shorter cycle time to me. Well, doesn't seem too bad for a first target now, does it, people? A little bit, can't exactly tell what things are going on too well, but 5 minutes and 58 seconds damage. No one tell Kixeye. 5 minutes, 58 seconds damage for my first hit against this target. That seems pretty good to me. What do you folks think on that one? We'll go back and hit the same target again, stay zoomed out this whole time, see what happens, and even try autoing that one. Yeah, not a bad target at all. I mean, it didn't seem too punishing. It did seem almost basic, like it was missing something. I did mess up on that getting hit by the cannonballistic turret, as I told you there, folks. Alright, just a few instant repairs here, and we'll go ahead and get back on the map there. Targets appear to be tuned for 3 ships. I mean, my 3 ships did it fairly easily. With a complete fleet, it might actually be more damage, Derek's saying. Derek said with a complete fleet, that's 3 or 4 minutes damage. I would argue it'd be more, because I would expect most of the damage I took in that instant was splash damage, and if I had 2 ships, that might actually take less damage than these 3. Of course, I have a few ships at U3, so this isn't really the, really basic ships. Would it be feasible with just 1 ship? I mean, I can try it for you, but I really don't have high hopes for that. Here's the 160. We'll go through one more time. And I'll do a little bit better job of sticking close to the friendly turrets here. Right, let's get started. You can see my countermeasures were working perfectly fine, not getting overwhelmed or anything like that. You also notice that my ship number 2 actually pulls slightly ahead out of everything else. You can see the range rings are unstacking just a hair. So we'll go close to this one, kill that turret, and then move closer towards these 2. I'm inside that damage ring right there. Not the best move I ever did here. And again, when you're within 40 range of this turret, you do have buffs here. Yeah, no problem, Andy. I'm happy to redo these things. The target does seem to go by a little bit quickly. I've taken a lot of damage so far. Jeez. Must have been the red ring I went into. And when you're near these friendly turrets, again, you do have a bonus in terms of your map speed, your turn speed, and whatnot. Looks like that really did not die very easily. Maybe I need to be, all the way at X1 before that dies easily. Alright, let's see if we can't go by here close, grab a few turrets, grab the disruptor cannon, grab this guy, and we're off a little bit. Just barely avoided damage, but this one's not going to be instant repair on map for sure. But the target's really quick. I've only been in here 1 minute, and I'm done. A little bit more damage here on ships 2 than I would have expected, but you can complete the target in 1.5 minutes. That's really nice. This one, like I said, damage might be a tad higher. Haven't 100% figured out the trick to the target yet. Yeah, 19 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and coin it because I'm not waiting 19 minutes to repair. And we'll keep doing a few of these things till I get the hang of this. We'll do one more 160 at least right now, or 162 if they happen to be close. Yeah, those, there are things in here that hurt. I think it was me driving into that red ring that got me. Or the command outpost fire generated field, or whatever the technical term that Kixeye was going for happened to be. But it was a bit painful. Alright, here's the 162. Looks like it does matter where I enter from. And we have, again, more Farsight turrets shooting at different things. We want to probably take those out pretty early. Probably don't want to hover over all of these, but now I can't stop myself. We want to get close to these turrets, use their abilities early. Let's sneak off onto the left here. Get close to this turret. Kill that guy. Now that we're close to that, we can kill this launcher that's shooting at me. And these things are shooting at me already, so let's go ahead and kill the Draconian Enhancement turret and that whole cluster, rather than dealing with that Farsight. It really didn't seem too worth it. I think I'm going to continue to loop around the outside of the target, so that nothing really shoots at me. Shouldn't take too much damage. My ships are hurt a little bit here. Yeah, thank you, Arceus and Costa. I will definitely check out the Gladius in this target as well, just to see how well it happens to work. I'm getting fuzzy. How about now? It helps if I speak directly into my microphone. I drove through that red ring again. Jeez. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Something's shooting at me. Something's taking damage. And it's definitely my ships. Come on. I can't go through here. Can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop, GameStop. Alright. Just kill a few of the Drac enhancement turrets. Kill some of these radio towers. Try and stay near the friendly turrets. I don't really have a great path for this one nailed down on run number 1, apparently. Yeah, everything out here outranges you. That's just rude. I really need to do a better job going around the outside of this target. Okay, UAVs are shooting at me, but I'm shooting at every single one of those projectiles, as you can see. Even engaging 3 turrets at once, it's no issue. Alright, get close to this last radioactive launcher. With my short range and all these rings and lines on the field, I really just can't tell what's going on, to be honest. That's probably about an hour damage. Ballistic and radioactive. Radioactive probably means you messed up. And 41 minutes for slightly less than 250k. Hey Kixeye, if you could go ahead and raise the base target points to be 251,000, so when the warehouses take out 500, we have above that. That would be ideal. Okay, let's try another 162 from about a 9 o'clock entry. I heard someone asking for that one. Let's see here. I spent 3 coins already today. Jeez. Okay, let's go for the radio tower first, and then stay out of range of everything else while we get that one. Stay out of that red ring. There we go. Good job, me. And let's get... These turrets won't matter. We can... oh, I don't want that ship out ahead. I want ship number 2 out ahead. It's got more evade. Stay moving, because we have that long-range turret shooting at me. But I can avoid that damage well enough. If I'm nearby this turret, I should be able to heal it, shouldn't I? Do I heal it faster than it takes damage? With 3 ships? If I stay within this guy's range while I kill these 2 turrets and these ones, I should be able to keep it alive and give me some buffs. Let's see here. Sneak in, 1 or 2 shots, loop back. Hey, that was pretty successful. Okay, let's go grab this guy. Hey, there we go. Really got to keep moving against these cannonballistic turrets. And that guy's being healed up. What's our next move? Let's loop around to the top of this target, grab this this launcher, this turret, and we can move into the bottom one. Okay, there we go. This guy's shooting at the Drac enhancement. That's all that turret's there for. Gonna take that one down. And then we'll loop over off onto the right side. Even though I want to use this buff to kill a few things, I think it makes more sense to get the other Drac enhancement one down. Cure, you're lagging? Or is it everyone on the stream? Because I am trying a bit of a lower latency thing today. That might be a problem. We'll have to reset some things. We'll see. Looks like this guy didn't quite go down. I should have stayed closer to the Farsight turret. That would have been better. And is this guy just not taking damage? Because that's fine by me. Alright, let's circle back in here. Shoot at a few of these guys. And there we go. Got to come back for round number 2. Drive by. Close on the first one. That's good to know, Andy. Thanks for letting me know I'm not lagging too badly. Or at all. Okay, kill the UAVs. Loop back around up to the front. And thank you, Cody. And grab these guys. Alright. And then let's loop down here by these turrets. In close. Make sure you get the Cannonballista. That appears to do the most damage if you mess up. not really doing a whole lot of splash to these things. You really have to target each one individually rather than with a mortar fleet where you can sort of just blanket the whole target. Yep, I am assuming these turrets gender. Thank you for calling me out on that one. I'll refer to them as helicopters in the future. Alright, let's see here. That looks like it was better. Not perfect. Still took some damage. Looks like more radioactive. I can't quite tell where that's coming from. And 19 minutes. Not 15, but 19 minutes if I had 4 or 5 ships. That might be the way to go there. I did start outside, work towards the middle. Let's go with one more 162, and we'll come back and use some Gladius and maybe auto the 160. Let's go in from 3 o'clock here. You don't want me to call them turnets when you spell it wrong? I think Kixeye might have done that a few years ago. Yeah, let me check to see if what the Reclaimer targets are locked to, if we can actually use Gladius or not. Tiers 9 and 10. So you can use your Gladius fleet, and the Punisher was even tier 9. That should be fine. Punisher has the advantage of outranging some things. Did you miss the 513? You did not miss the 513. I'm making you wait around a little bit for that one. Mostly because I'm still playing with these guys because they're kind of fun. Uh-oh, that's not the right approach. Jeez, what did all that damage? I can't tell what the damage is happening. I can't tell what's shooting at me. Did these Draconian enhancement turrets really help that much? They can't help that much. I drove through the ring again? Why didn't you tell me? I'm in an alliance. They don't like me enough. I don't get enough alliance points. My flagship... Oh, geez, it took a lot of shockwaves that time. My flagship is U1. My other 2 ships are U3. I've only got 3 on here right now. You know, there has been some question onto my level of awareness and what may be causing any sort of lack of awareness in these targets. Okay, bit of a drive-by there. That's enough splash to get a few things down. Yeah, I'm a bit too fast by this drive-by here. No, we're actually colorblind. I can't see the color red. I expect the red rings to be around the outpost-looking buildings, not floating off in space near them. Okay, what if we go slowly here and look at these targets? I mean, I'm having fun. I'm enjoying these targets. They're not extremely punishing, not extremely damaging. It's just a bit hard for me to tell what's actually shooting at me. Okay, we want to go back to the 160 after this guy. Auto that one. Maybe try my Gladius fleets in there too. Yeah, rings are offset from buildings, which is something I have noticed now, and even did in the original targets in VXP Weekend with a bit of help. I'm using 2 countermeasures, 2 missile defense system, 3 on the entire fleet, and I have no complaints. It works great. I don't need any more than that. Our launcher's still close range cutoff like the VXP ones. I think I know what you're saying. I believe that these do have a high minimum range. I'm not sure about Punishers, but I will try the Gladius in just a minute here. Let's auto the 160 first and see what kind of damage this gets. Hands off the wheel, not driving. Okay, well, at least on auto, I'll hopefully kill these buildings first if the target, at least the 160, is set up in any reasonable sort of fashion. And my evade tank being slightly faster might help out as well. Alright, let's see here. Close to another turret. Yeah, the auto is actually pretty good. It just doesn't wait long enough for these targets to actually die. And took a cannonballistic turret there. We need a better name for that guy. What do you mean animation not coming through? I honestly haven't looked too closely at the launchers. That's a 160 on auto. Looks like about half an hour damage. About even ballistic and radioactive. 21 minutes damage on auto. That's not too bad, although 3 ships in a fleet certainly means it's going to take longer to actually go through. Let's see if I can't get my Gladius fleet on map. Do I have it here? No, I don't. Yeah, Cure, the raid target really looks basic. Like, it definitely feels like it's missing something. Feels back at the very start of the Apollo ranges. Alright. Let's get my Gladius out. I don't know how well this guy will do. And we'll hit the 513 after I experiment once with this. I'm not expecting this to have any sort of extraordinary performance, but we can try it. Hey, Mr. Prishy from Gangs. I recognize that name. 513's hard. I'll take a look at that in just a moment. Of course, I'm not using any crews here. Right, not as important to take out those turrets early or get close to them. Let's see what we have here. No countermeasures on the Gladius. That might make it harder to go through. Does a lot more damage right off the bat. Stay close to this guy. Wait for... Well, it doesn't matter if you're close or not. Just wait for this building to go down before you charge in. Actually, Andy, my flagship is built as the countermeasure build, while ship number 2 is the tank evade one that's slightly faster. On my reclaimer fleet, I have 3 heavy weapons on. With 3 ships, so... I'm hoping to get ship number 4 finished, actually, by later today if I like the raid targets enough. Oh, this is nice. Gladius fleet just blows all these guys up. You see that? Its special weapon is pretty good. TSM's onto something there, I think. Or is it the built-in X1 Fire Lance cannon? 4 hours damage for 513? That seems like a lot. Well, Gladius fleet, 25 minutes damage in the target. Of course, mine is mostly X1, if not all X1. One of these guys is at U3. But you can do the target with Gladius. That was fun. Took a minute. I could easily spend 1 gold and do that another 100 times if I needed to. I'm not sure how a U0 Gladius fleet would work, and I don't have one actually done right off the bat here. Where's this 513 at? Someone hitting them all? Yeah, my Gladius fleet was mostly X1, but it's possible to do. Similar damage to Reclaimers. With U0, no idea how you're going to fare. Alright, here we go. 513. What have we got here? Pretty large target. Lots of different turrets hanging about here. Lots of red rings. Someone yell at me if I run through one of those, please. And lots of friendly turrets hanging around here. No one's shooting at that Drac outpost, so we'll just have to take the brunt of that guy. Okay, that kills the one to the left. So this one should kill the one in front of it. Okay, good. Don't shockwave. That would be mean. Be quite rude. I'm in range. Just for a second. Just for a second with one ship. Your range is too short. That's why the X1 upgrades on the Reclaimer, giving you 5% range. That's why those will be quite helpful. Okay, let's stay with this far side. Keep this guy healed up. Wait for him to shoot that center tower, and then keep going off on the edge. Yeah, if you charge through the inside, you won't be in these ranges. But I don't really want to charge through the inside of this target. Alright, do these guys have any sort of special support turret? I don't think so. So we can just approach them quickly. See, just outside of that ring, it'll be a lot easier with X1. Alright, here's the plan. Charge in. As soon as this outpost is down, we'll turn left. Perfect. Nice plan, me. Okay, these targets are pretty fun. I'll say it. And they're not overly damaging either. And turn around. Perfect. Okay, let's come inside here. Kill the radio tower so that the Farsight turret is unshrouded and it's healed too. And I'm healing it. It's buffing me. That should mean I take less damage against any of these targets I have to come close to. Yeah, that radio tower just dies about instantly. Come on, heal this guy. Heal this guy. Ah, he's out of health. Maybe 5 ships X1 have enough health to keep it lasting longer. Oh geez, uh-oh. I'm taking too much fire. Gotta get out of here. And some shockwaves. Okay, let's see. We don't want to engage the center area till I've killed this turret, so I have to loop around the top of the target. I'll probably go through the outside here to do that. Well, by outside, I mean a bit through the middle. Alright, let's see. Kill a few of these guys. Gotta keep moving. I'm fine with looping in here for these guys because they're not buffed by anything. Uh-oh. The cannibalistic turret does not appear to have a very large minimum range, if any. If I remember, it does ballistic damage. Alright, let's kill you. Uh-oh. I got in range there again. Jeez. That's tough. You want me to try Gladius in the 503? Are you not having enough trouble with my with this fleet? In the 513? Okay, heal this guy up. And I think I'm going to loop over to these top set of targets while I still have the buff from this friendly turret. Shoot at their special building first. Looks like it's got pretty low health, so your splash can actually take care of that quite nicely. Stay moving against this guy. And don't double back against yourself. Should be pretty good. Alright, get again close to the friendly guy. Whenever this shield pops up, you have that friendly aura support. And there you go. Shoot at you. Come on. Come on. Stay moving. Yeah, ship number 2 is taking a lot of damage here. Probably because it's supposed to. It's supposed to go out in front. Well. There we go. 513, not too bad. I mean, it's the hardest target. It shouldn't be instant repair the first time. 23 minutes is not horrible. Although, again, Kixeye would love to see this number raised to 500k minimum. Not starting 500k and decreasing by 200. I mean, that's not a bad target. Let's see. People want to see my Gladius fleet in that one as well. Seems like you're really just asking for trouble. I want to check out the Munir target just to see what that is real quick before we go ahead and jump into that. Because the Munir, I mean, that's in the top set that people got to do anyway. How'd you take 4 hours damage? Probably park yourself in a place you should not have parked, to say the least. All right, Munir targets were nice enough. They were better than those assault targets. Those were quite poor. What target are we hitting for the Ronin? Got a few of these guys. 605. Yeah, thanks, Andy. Good luck to you as well. Let's see here. What's the leaderboard at? Only 100 million, not quite up to a billion. So I'm 67th, which is probably about as high as I've ever seen myself. Only 100 mil though. Don't worry, Captain Lockheed. It'll be up to a billion in the next few. Oh, geez, that's rude. Kixeye, why are you spawning me into range of two ships on top of each other? Hey, you're not allowed to do that. That's cheating. That's cheating. You're literally cheating. You want me to retreat, come back in? This was a fresh target. That's cheating. You can't do that. You can't do that. You enter in the same spot anyway. That's not allowed. I'm gonna press start. I'm gonna press start. I'll be sending in a ticket with this timestamp. Oh, that's just rude. That's just rude. Oh, there were 3 ships on top of there. Come on. That's not allowed. That's not allowed. You're saying that was a problem during the raid as well? I didn't see that, to be honest. Didn't happen to me. I hit a few dozen of these, so it must have been a bit rare. That's rude. Oh, come on. Come on. Highly polished game. Let's go. Well, I'm not going to use this fleet for another while today, so not too worried about that. This looks like it's just the 513 target when it was a raid target, so nothing too fancy here. Yeah, I probably should have retreated, but I did not. I wanted to see how bad it was. Well, when this was a raid target, you just spawned. You spawned there. I mean, in the middle, nothing was around you. But now I guess you do have things around you. All right. We'll go back to the siege targets. We have a little while left here. I'm really curious to see how TSM's been doing with his tier 9 heavy weapons. I think those might actually work better than the ones I've got. Kier, I don't actually remember that happening with this raid target, but I'm sure that it will all get ironed out. I mean, that can't be intentional. Just an oversight, bug of some sort, defaulted to being at location 00. That's my only assumption. Things in this game that are wrong generally come down to ignorance, not knowing about the problem, incompetence, not able to fix it, or indifference, not caring enough to solve it. It does seem like more ice fields because, you know, they're all in the middle where I killed ships, but there should be the same amount as last time. You always spawn in the center of the target. I don't know if other things are always in the center of the targets. Yeah, the tier 9 heavy throwers on these siege ships or reclaimers, the tier 9 one is much better in terms of initial damage up front, whereas the tier 10 one is better for sustained damage. It's a lot better for sustained damage, so. Okay, we'll go back to the siege targets in just a moment here, after we peek one more of these guys. Because I don't like spawning being in range of 3 or 4 different ships. That doesn't seem right to me. Especially ones named the Nighthawk that start surfaced. Alright, there we go. I mean, honestly, the 160, 162, 153 are quite fun targets, I'll say. I suppose people want me to use the Claudius in those again. 1 hour, 7 minutes damage. Kixeye, by my count, that's 3 coins plus my time. I also can't blitz times 10, as far as you're aware. But I am not enjoying spawning on top of ships. That doesn't make the raid fun. Let's try it one more time. I won't hit the target. I'll just see what it puts me under. It's called 605 at this point. I thought it was a 603. Let's see here. Yep. You did it again. Is it one ship this time or all of them? Oh, it's all of them. You can see the range ranks. We're just going to screenshot that real quick. Don't mind me. And retreat. And we'll go back to here. Let's see. Coming back up in just one moment. Okay, here we go. Just had to, file a quick message saying that something's wrong, because that can't be right. And we'll get my reclaimer fleet out again. Yeah, I just posted my image as well, Ergeni. Okay. I think this is going to be a fun raid on the siege aspect. I think the siege targets are exciting. I mean, I've been enjoying them. You want the 160, 513? Which one do you want again? 162? Oh, the 162's out, so why not? I have to get this one down to instant repair too, is the plan. Let's see here. I got time to do another few of these. Thanks for hanging out with me, everyone. And we'll see here. Why did it start me on that left side? That's not where I told it to go. Oh well. Let's get close to this guy. Stay out of that red ring. I learned my lesson. We're near the turret. Kill the enhancement platform. Come on. I'm healing you. I'm healing you. One more shot. One more shot. There you go. That's all I needed. Evade tank slightly out front. Move forward here. Grab that turret so I get faster and get my bonuses up quickly. Perfect. Come back close to this guy so I heal it. You're welcome, Crypto, anytime. Actually, just about once a month. Okay, I don't actually want to trigger that far right turret yet because I want to get back over here. Too late. I was going to try and stay healed. I'll just stay in range here. Another few shots, take this guy down. Loop around the outside. I might be able to get this guy down to instant repair. We have to see. Okay, you stay alive, no dying. Maybe it's worthwhile to leave one ship there while I go trigger this other one. Not quite sure on that one, actually. Okay, shoot at this guy. Uh-oh. Saw a brief orange spot. And he's dead. Without this one dying. Oh well. Okay, let's see if we can't get back within 240 range and keep going here. Perfect. A few shots at these guys. Target that one, target this one, turn around, run. I got most of the damaging ones there. And this one doesn't die for any reason because there's nothing shooting at it. Okay. Okay, there we go. Few shots on the UAV. What's doing all the damage to my ships? I'm not going in range of anything. I'm not messing up. It's just sort of forced damage. Ah, there's some shockwaves, I see. I mean, I've got 72% evade. What you want me to do? A lot of damage on ship 1 that time. Flagship snuck out in front. I want the X1 upgrades. Not enough to buy it, mind you. Oh, there you go. You raised the point payout. I got the whole 250k. What am I up to on global now? 62. Should we blitz for number 1? Should we go see the number 1 guy's base? I want to do one more 160 here. Again, why is it so hard? Why are there only 162s spawning? Maybe I can get the Badger hole in the raid stream. That'd be fun. No, why did you bring me to the target if he was already in that target? That's not what I wanted. Yeah, again, why are there so many 160s? You want me to upset Nighthawk and blitz to number 1? I don't think I have enough coins to compete with that one. What I could do is leave one thing and let the turret repair me. The turret doesn't repair me. I repair the turret. Otherwise, I would definitely do that. Hey, there's Wim going. I jumped to him for the raid. He's probably being a dirty coiner right now. Come on, pop up with the repair icon. Come on, Wim. Pop up with the repair icon. I'm waiting for you. Hey, don't jump in my target. Stay out of my targets, Wim. There you go. Okay, 160. Try and do this one for pretty low damage. I don't want ship 1 out in front. It's ship 2 I want out in front. I don't even really need to move it out in front. It should just stay there. No, the turret does not repair me. I repair the turret. See, this healing icon is actually just me fixing the turret. My health doesn't change, but you can see its health is increased in a fair amount here. Okay, sneak out ahead here. Do some damage to those guys. Perfect. Okay, let's go get this guy. Stay within range here is the plan. Heal up this turret real quick, because I want this close one to go. That didn't work. I don't do enough healing. It's not strong enough. Now, do we loop in from the bottom here or the top? I think I'll try the bottom on this approach to get this guy down more quickly. Okay, shoot at these guys, shoot at these guys. Die faster, mind you. Die faster. Or more quickly. Whichever you prefer. Get close again. Grab the ones out of range. Jeez, what's doing so much damage to me? I can't tell. Is it the decimators? That's my guess. Six minutes, 58 seconds. That's instant in base. I can just do that one target. It takes me a minute to do. That's really fun. Alright, let's think about a few things for a moment. Raid prizes are actually pretty good in my opinion. It's a defender hole. I would rather those be in bounty, but if it's in the raid, I'm not going to complain because I do both. I completely understand that there are some people who only want to do PvP and not do any PvE stuff, but I mean, we assume we have this thing back next bounty as well, right? So maybe we'll have to just settle for that one. In terms of the actual fleets, I think the Reclaimer's okay to drive. The lines on screen are a little bit distracting. You really want me to do that 513 Gladius, don't you? The lines on screen while driving the Reclaimer is a little bit distracting. A bit annoying, a bit hard to tell what's going on. I still think the tier 9 weapon might actually be better. The tier 9 should not be better than the tier 10, but I think it very well might be. So that really is something we do have to just keep in the back of your minds. you want to do a refit? Maybe. Probably not. There's a damaged one, but I'll have to get one for you. There we go. I mean, like I said, the Reclaimers are a bit annoying to drive, but I think it's actually going to be pretty fun, especially in these targets where they're quite small, compact, and if that makes sense at all. Anyway, let's go ahead and start out here. Let's see here. Where are you shooting? Nowhere. Decimators outrange your Gladius, but probably not your Punishers. I have to say, it's kind of fun being able to use an old ship again. Not that the Gladius is really very old, because we haven't had it forever. You think it won't be for next raid? I think if Tier 9's better now, it will still be better next raid. I mean, I don't really see a whole lot of stuff that's going to change between the two. Not that I've really any idea, of course, but after doing enough of these targets and cycles, the targets are fairly standard between the two raids, if not a tiny bit harder for the second one, especially when we have things like outpost upgrades and dock upgrades. And if this is tuned for 3 ships, next one tuned for 5, might be a bit harder, but I don't really expect that. I mean, the Tier 9, we're talking about the Tier 9 thrower on top of the Tier 10 Reclaimer, just because, I mean, you see how quickly this Gladius is killing these targets. Everything is going down in one shot. It doesn't matter if you have an 8-second reload if everything goes down in one shot. Yeah, of course, they could just always change the launcher to make the new one better, or the thrower, rather, to make the new one better. Yeah, they could lock the targets to Tier 10. That's, we're talking about 2 different things here, Gladius versus Reclaimer, and Tier 10 launcher versus Tier 10 launcher. I mean, equipping them onto the holes. A few things to consider there at least. Well, let's see. What's the repair time on the Gladius? Yeah, Wim's doing it for 1 coin. I'm doing the 160 for free, and the 162 is 1 coin right now, but we'll get that down a little bit. Here's the Gladius, 37 minutes damage. That's not bad. And Kixeye, thank you for listening and raising the points earned to be a number greater than 500k. No idea if that works for me, or if that was my cause or someone else's. But however, I think we appreciate that. Alright, well, just went over a few raid prizes. There are things you should get pretty early on, including different tokens if you want to use those. Of course, it's always worthwhile to get 1 badger, just start building a blank hole. And turrets are always fun to get. More upgrade tokens, upgrade and build tokens to get your 4th, 5th ships, whatever done. That works out great. Of course, don't get the PvP tech if you don't need it or have time to build it. Maybe you only want to get 1 badger. Maybe you don't need Bastion Seawall 2s because you're not going to upgrade your portals anytime soon. And maybe you need or don't need Reclaimer tokens. I definitely don't need any of these upgrade kits. Actually might need about 80 of these guys. I'm not 100% sure. But I think I'm going to go ahead and say thank you everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate the people joining in with the raid. Thank you, Jim, for that comment about how you think it's the Firelance cannon over the... Well, just to sum up here, the Tier 10 heavy thrower is on the Reclaimer. The Tier 9 is on the Punisher. The Gladius one's a bit different. Anyway, as I'm concluding, we can talk about that more in a different video. Thank you to everyone for joining in so far. I do these raid stream stuff to help the community, and I sure will have a fantastic night. I hope you all do as well. If questions come up, feel free to drop them in the comments below, related to the raid or not, and I'll do my best to get back to you. Of course, I'll try and get a few videos out later today. A little bit of a busy schedule, but I should still be able to do that. Thank you everyone for your comments in chat, and as always, this is Derpy, signing out, helping you be a better pirate.